whole complicated message. Any volunteers?
Nope. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I shouldn't have volunteered. Give me just a minute to bring it up. All right. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general laws, chapter 30A, section 18, and the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. Members of the public who wish to watch and listen to the meeting may do so in the following manner. Zoom. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Members of the public who would like to watch and listen to this meeting while in progress may do so via Zoom conferencing using the following link: https://us02web.zoom.us/j/881508190105 PWD CXL3DGF PEEK 0UVDCZ01UBGT QNUMXZZ09. Members of the public who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so via telephone by dialing 1-646-558-8656 and enter meeting ID 8811-5081-9105. Then press pound and press pound again at the next voice prompt. Members of the public attending this meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the portion of the meeting designated for public comment by following the steps previously noted and using the virtual hand function if joined by Zoom, or by pressing *9 on their keypad if joined by telephone. This will notify the meeting host that the caller wishes to speak. All participants using this feature will be placed in queue in the order they enter the prompt. In the event that, despite our best efforts, we are not able to provide for real-time access, we will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as we are able.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan, for reading that for us. And now I'll go ahead and officially open the meeting. We do have 6 members here. 1 has not arrived, but I will ask all of you to go around and introduce yourselves. So the interpreter knows who is speaking. And I'm sorry today, my wrist is really hurting me, so it's a little bit hard for me to communicate tonight, but I guess I'll start. I am Carol Hilbinger, and go on to who's next. Maybe Jonathan, you'll be next.
Sure. I am Jonathan Eaton.
Robert Oliveri.
E. Janetti.
And Brooke Green.
Our interpreter tonight is Kelly.
Welcome, Kelly.
Okay, I do want to remind everyone that we do have an interpreter present, so please, if you want to speak, please raise your hand so you can be recognized and then go ahead and speak. If you'd also include your name before you go ahead and make your comment to make sure that we have access for everyone, including those who are not able to be here on the phone. Or if you're on the phone, it's hard to tell who's speaking if you don't see the names, so that'll help everyone. Previous meeting minutes. Brooke had emailed the meeting minutes from our last meeting this afternoon to everyone. I hope people have had an opportunity to read through the previous minutes, and I would ask Brooke if she doesn't mind reading them out.
All right. Hello. All right. Wilmington Commission on Disabilities meeting minutes. December 10th, 2020, via Zoom. Present at meeting, Dr. DeGiannetti, Carol Hilbinger, Robert Oliveri, Brooke Green, Ariana Faro, and sign language interpreter. I believe her name was Erin. That's what I wrote down. This meeting was called to order at 6:39 by Carol Hilbinger, chairwoman. Information regarding state requirements for Zoom meetings was read by Brooke Green. Reminder for those in attendance to raise hand and be acknowledged before speaking to assist the interpreter with keeping track of the flow of conversation. 2, review of previous minutes of September 29, 2020. Brooke Green made a motion to accept the minutes as written, and I believe Robert Oliveri seconded. All voted and approved. 3, communications. Nothing new to report in email communications by Brooke Green. Discussed information that needed to be added and changed on the website. 4, town topics article. Jonathan Eaton wrote a paragraph for addition to the town topics flyer with edits and additions by Chairperson Hilbinger and Dr. Giannetti. Submission confirmed by Beverly Dalton of the Town Manager's Office. 5, meeting calendar for 2021. After discussion, meetings have been set to the 4th Wednesday. As an aside, I put bi-monthly. I'm not sure if that's the correct term. Or every other month. Beginning January 27th. Motion by Brooke Green, seconded by Robert Oliveri. Follow-on meetings will be March 24th, May 26th, July 28th, September 22nd, and November 17th. That was adjusted for Thanksgiving holiday. 6, accessibilities update. Update on accessibilities provided by Dr. Giannetti. 4 episodes had been taped. The following Thursday, would have been December 17th, was with guest Jeff Hull. Due to COVID, WCTV is limiting the amount of volunteers in the building during taping. Had discussed the recent creation of a Facebook page as written in the meeting notes. No commission business is to be discussed on Facebook, only information regarding show and general info. Dr. Janetti created a flyer. Robert Oliveri assisted with distribution and will be updating a flyer. Updated flyer will be created with all communication methods listed. We discussed creating a list of contacts and groups to share the YouTube and Facebook page with, guests to add, and etc. can be added directly to the Google Drive. 7, open for discussion. First, Robert Oliveri asked about a follow-up to 299 Main Street, and we'll be checking back in with them. Next, the ethics and conflict of interest requirements are due, yearly requirement. And then Robert Oliveri suggests Wounded Warrior and Homes for Heroes project to add to sites, our website and or Facebook, and Brooke Green to find links info regarding injured firefighters and police. 7, adjournment. The motion to adjourn meeting was made by Brooke Green and seconded by Robert Oliveri. The meeting was adjourned at 9:30 p.m. by Carol Hilbinger, chairperson. The next meeting will be January 27th, 2021 via Zoom. Minutes respectfully submitted by Brooke Green.
Thank you, Brooke. Any discussion? Changes, edits?
I just have really one question, one comment. So Brooke, when you put for me, Robert Oliveri, question mark, I don't remember, but assume that it is me. As long as we can remove the question mark, I'm fine with that.
Yes.
And then the only other thing I had, I think we want to change adjournment to Roman numeral 8. I think these did wonders for me, your meeting minutes.
Yeah, that is correct.
I totally forgot about my action item until I saw your minutes today. So cheers to you. Thank you.
Well, I feel like I assigned everything to you. You seconded everything, so I was like,
I must have been talkative that night. I'm not sure. No, that's fine.
But if you're okay with it, I will remove those and assign that officially to you.
Absolutely.
And I think Dee, did you have a comment as well?
Yeah. You know, this is really difficult for me with Zoom meetings because I can't see anything on the screen again. I couldn't last time, and that's why I didn't participate as much. And I can't this time, so it's kind of hard because I don't know if you see me raise my hand or whatever. But the hardest thing for me is...
would it help if we... if we spotlighted who's speaking? Or we could do two, the speaker and then the interpreter. We can highlight two people on the screen and then that's all you see. Would that be helpful?
What? I'm not seeing anything on my screen, so it's just really hard. So I'm just hearing, so I don't know when to talk and when not to talk. So I'm basically not going to say too much. But I just wanted to say that as far as the minutes were, I had other meetings today, so I didn't see the minutes until right before that you sent them, Brooke, right before the meeting started, and it doesn't give me a chance I have to listen to it all the way through with my speech processor. I didn't have time to do that, and then just to hear it all at once with my brain injury, I can't. So I can't even comment on them. It's just I need time to hear the minutes ahead of time.
I have that. Brooke Green. So Dee, that is me. I am not a very organized person. Not sure if you all have noticed, but I will make a concerted effort to get them out earlier. I would like to let you know, though, I did use the template that you had provided last time. With some clerical errors there. That's my bad. Just so, unless there's a different template, that would be easier. But that's the one you had.
It sounded very organized. It's just that I can't, with my brain injury, I can't keep all that information in my head all at once either. I have to, I had to listen to it over and over before it sinks into my head. So it just takes time. So
Sure.
it just, it just made it hard because I don't really get anything out of it. Even though you read it, it just didn't stick in my head.
Understood.
And it's been a really busy day. I've had a lot of information in my head. So it just, with my brain injury, it's hard to hold stuff. It's frustrating.
Understandable. I will.
Hey, Jonathan.
Yes.
Can we go back to the gallery view as opposed to the spotlight?
Sure. Tried. Dee requested it, but yeah.
Dee, was that easier for you to have a spotlight where it's just one person on the screen?
I didn't notice a difference. What is there? How many people are on the screen now?
6.
There's 6, yep. If Dee is listening, I would prefer gallery view myself, if Dee's not using the screen.
Whatever you guys want, I don't care. I'm listening.
So Jonathan, if you could take the spotlight off and change it back, that would be great.
It is on gallery view, at least. Right, let me. Carol, are you seeing 6 people or are you seeing just one?
The spotlight's on, so it's just one person. So you'll have to unspotlight. You have to turn the spotlight off.
Oh, here, I did it. Okay. Does that work? Is that better?
Oh, you spotlighted yourself.
Oh, God. I feel bad for you folks. All right. This is what happens when you have an amateur do this.
That's okay.
I just saw Jonathan. That was the first time I saw a person on my screen.
Apologies to all of you. Oh, that's not that good. How many are you seeing now?
It's still spotlighted only you.
Now it's Kelly. Oh, now it's a receiver of a phone.
All right, my
Look for the
apologies.
spotlight feature. You should be able to just turn it off.
Yeah, I'm clicking on gallery view.
Mhm. Okay.
Just moving.
Well, everyone can pick to change it to gallery view for themselves. So you can independently choose gallery view on the top right-hand corner.
Oh. That worked.
Yeah. So if the host can't figure it out, you do have some controls. Each individual person does have some. Okay. Well, let's get back to business. So the next, for meeting minutes, we can vote or we can hold for the next meeting to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to look over the minutes. Thoughts?
Brooke Green? Motion to hold for next meeting. I'll submit changes that were requested by Robert, and then we can vote on those next meeting.
Second, Jonathan Eaton will second that motion.
And Dee, did you have a hand up?
No, I was just going to second it, but Jonathan, that's fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right. The meeting minutes will be held with the changes submitted for the next meeting. Thank you, everyone. On to number 4, the committee emails and the information that we've gotten so far. We've actually been a little busy. Someone contacted us
Are
from,
we skipping 3?
no, number 3 was meeting minutes.
Okay, on mine it says commission, okay, correspondence. Never mind, go ahead.
Okay, so we're on number 4, which is commission correspondence. Correspondences. That's quite a word to spell. The Director of Planning and Conservation contacted us for support with opening space planning. They're reevaluating all of the town parks and open spaces, and they've asked for the Disability Commission's support. I wanted to bring that to Dee, and Dee will guide that with more information. Dee, over to you.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Valerie sent me some information. What they're doing is they're doing their 5-year planning for the open space, and they have 23 sites around town. There's 5 or 6 parks, and then there's a lot of trails. And they have an ADA checklist that they went through, but they don't really know how to do all the ADA stuff. So they need community access monitors to survey the sites. So I told her we will do that. And a couple of you wanted to work on this. Carol, Robert, and Brooke. Jonathan, I didn't know if you might be interested too. Here's what we need to do. I went through, remember the USB that we all got with the from MOD when we graduated from the training? On that, there's a lot of information, including all the regulations and everything. I had the regulations printed out, so they're in we have one hardcover copy. But in order to do these surveys, I thought we could split them up, you know, each person take a number of them, and I'll supervise everybody on them so that everybody can learn how to do the evaluations. The first thing that I need to have everybody do is on that USB, there's 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5 subjects, and one is called Cam Book. And I really need everybody to read that portion on that says Cam Book. It's very user-friendly language. It's kind of long, but it tells all the basics on what we're surveying and how and why. Then after that, what we need to do is we need to look at each site, and we have to figure out what year they did any renovations or, you know, spend any money doing anything there, so we can discern which regulations. There's 5 sets of regulations, and it depends on what year it was, which regulations we'll use do the site survey. But I thought for the very first site, the Yentl Farm Park, that was just recently done. So that's going to be the 2010 ADA regulations. And that site will have everything in it that we'll need to survey in any of the other parks and trails. I don't think anything else will have as many things as this particular site. So I thought this will probably be a good site to start with for everybody. After everybody reads the CAM portion, then I'd like to have a meeting with whoever wants to come to my house, and I can show you how to look up in the book what the regulations are and what forms we need in order to go do the survey. I need to show it to you. It's in different sections of the book. So that's, I would suggest having a meeting to go over that, and then we can do the survey. There's hundreds of pages of stuff, so I started going through and marking in the book places that will pertain to. This is just all outdoor stuff, so I'm trying to mark off just that stuff so it doesn't take a lot of extra time. So what do people think?
Great.
Robert, Brooke, Carol, you know, what do you think about that as a plan?
Yes, I say yes. I think it sounds good.
All right, so
I like it.
You.
Brooke, did you have
Time
something?
frame?
No, I was just expressing my agreement with the matter. I will be involved.
Okay, and then this is Carol speaking. I do have a question for Dee. You had said to read the one section. It looks like section 6 on parks that need evaluating. Is that right? And then, or 17 other locations.
Section 6 on what?
So are
No.
you asking us to evaluate all?
No, no. What I'd like is for everybody to read the section. It's a section 3, which is the CAM book, which will explain what we're doing. And then we are only going to be surveying outdoor facilities. So no, you won't be looking at all the regulations. I've already spent 4 whole days working with my PCA, going through the regulations to try to find the things that we're going to need so that we don't have to look at all of the regulations, just regulations that are going to pertain to the outdoor facilities, which is going to include parking lots, walkways, curb cuts, if there are bathroom facilities, things of that nature, ramps, the type of ground covering, those type of things, instead of, indoor building type codes.
Okay, this is Carol again. So let me clarify my question. We're starting with the Yentl Farm because that's the newest, and then 5 other locations as well.
There's 23 sites altogether.
Okay. Yeah. So Valerie's timeline originally seemed like it was March, the last week in March.
I told her that we'll keep her updated on how long it's going to take to do this. But I figured if we all do Yentl Farm together, then you'll have a good idea on how to look at the sites, and we can break up the sites between those of us who want to be involved in the project.
Okay. Brooke?
I was just wondering how did Valerie contact us? Did she just contact you directly, Dr. D?
Yeah,
or?
she emailed Carol and I. I was actually on that commission for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Doing that, so she knew that we do this type of work.
Sure.
But this is a typical thing that a town department would ask because they're not familiar with all of this stuff. So what I'd like to do is figure out about how long it would take you guys to read that book and when to set up a meeting at my house so we can start making a timeline.
This is Carol. I need a list of specific sections. Can you email that? I really can't type it out right now with my wrist.
What, for the reading part? The reading part is just, open up your USB, and section 3, it will say CAM book, CAM book. And that's the part that has to be read.
Yeah, I meant I need that information emailed to me. It hurts to type right now, so I won't have a way to remember it.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So do you guys think it'll be reasonable to set up a meeting for like in 2 weeks? Robert, Brooke?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send an email to remind you of where on that USB this information is, and then we'll figure out a day and time
Okay.
that's convenient, okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
Great. Dee, any more on that topic?
No, it's an ambitious project, but it will be good because, you know, once you do an evaluation like this, then you got the hang of it, and then you'll be able to do evaluations, you know, anywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
So it'll be good.
Thank you for taking the lead on that. You have lots of experience with that, so thank you. All right, moving on. We have community members who have called in, that called into town hall to ask the commission. And they did reach out and asked and interacted with us. The community member did have a physical disability and went into a local business, but the floor was wet. And the person was concerned about slipping and falling. The store hadn't covered the wet spot. And they reached out and said they had to go and ask someone to please cover the wet spot on the floor. The community member did that and then was able to walk through that location and get their shopping done. And they came back around and the floor was being cleaned and then was wet again in that same area because it was being cleaned. So asked staff people again to please stop cleaning for a moment to be able to get through that little area. And they spoke to, they think it was the manager, and the manager said, no, I won't stop what I'm doing to let you pass. So that community member was pretty upset by this and had mixed feelings, they said. They didn't want to make a complaint, but they wanted to be proactive because they were concerned about themselves or other people potentially slipping in that store as well. And that store doesn't use carts, so they felt that it was dangerous. So they asked the commission to be proactive with that situation. They didn't name the store that was involved or the person. I have the information typed up on our drive. Brooke?
Just fixing my microphone.
Dee?
So in a case like this, you know, it helps to have the store name, but what needs to happen is some etiquette. So Carol, it sounds like you spoke with this individual, and what can happen is if the individual wants to tell us the name of the store, then somebody can go to the store and just talk about, you know, about safety for people with disabilities. What they needed to have was a sign to put up to mark that it's wet and you know, kind of petition it off. But if the person doesn't want to give the name of the store or anything, or the manager's name, then it's important for whatever commissioner talks to that individual to just let them know that, yeah, we take safety, you know, very seriously, and you know, we're sorry they had a bad experience, and let us know if anything like that happens again. But you know, it definitely deserves a phone call.
This is Carol, just clarifying. This person did tell me the name of the store. But for privacy, I didn't want to tell the entire during the open meeting right now, the name of the store.
Okay, so in that case, whoever's going to take this case can also contact the store and say that we've had a person with a disability put in this complaint, and just listen to them, to hear what they have to say. You can't just go in there and accuse them of doing something wrong. Just say that we've had this complaint and what do I think about it, and then let them know too what the etiquette is. You need to have a sign and you need to petition that off. And when you're speaking with a person with a disability, you don't just dismiss them and say, no, I won't do that. You need to be accommodating.
So Carol, this is Robert. So I know you'd said that the store name, which I think you made a good decision not saying it during our meeting. Did the person also give you the manager that she or he interfaced with name?
Yes, it seems actually, now that I'm thinking back, they didn't, the person only thought that they were speaking with the manager, but they weren't sure that that person was exactly the manager, and they didn't have that person's name. So I do have the owner of the store's name, but not the person that they directly interacted with. No. Yep. Okay.
I'm more than willing to go and talk. I'd probably pick your brain first before I went, or if you wanted to come with me, that's fine as well. But I definitely don't have a problem going in there and talking with whoever the point of contact is at that facility.
All right, that sounds great.
Yeah, sure. I can share all of the information with you, Robert, ahead of time. I have it all typed up already. I can send that over to you.
Okay, great. Thanks.
During the call, when I was interacting with that person, I was typing the information, so I got it all firsthand.
Great.
Yeah, and no matter what it is, we always have to follow up with people, even if it's not, technically an ADA problem or something like that. We just want people to know that, yes, you've been heard, and yes, we will do what we can to help you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it is a safety issue too for anyone, not just a person with disabilities.
Right.
And that no from that store employee I didn't like, but and that person found out about the commission through Town Topics newsletter.
Yay, yay, Jonathan.
There you go, Jonathan. Selectman Eaton, there he is. Good job, Jonathan. Selectman Eaton, good job.
Just a matter of time before I contributed something.
Yes, absolutely. We're happy about that. Okay, I'd like to move on now and check with Brooke to see if there were any other emails, or did anybody else reach out to the commission?
Green, we are only getting emails from the company trying to sell us what seems like curb cutting technology, but I think it's an email. That's all we got. I'm saving it just in case. So. That is it. That's why I was curious as to how Valerie contacted us. I was like, I didn't see an email.
Yeah.
So, nothing new.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get some more with a little bit of time. That Town Topics, once that gets out a little bit further reach. Maybe snow day, people get bored and read some of their inbox. Maybe we'll see some more info from that. All right, moving on to number 5A, town topics, the information sharing that we have. I realize where are we putting information about requests? Where are we documenting that? We have stuff in quite a few different places, so we should have that in one place to be able to document and have it all in one place. We should have it on the drive. The file name is creating information and referral. And put it in there. Just keep everything in one place. And then we all have access to that. And Dee, I can email you anytime if you need. Any comments on that?
Okay, you okay?
Okay, 5B, conflict of interest training. I hope everyone has completed this training and sent that email, and the certificates should be coming out.
I haven't. I'll get that done.
I'm almost done, Dee, with mine. I will be finished very shortly, and then I will send that out. So I promise I will be done soon. I do admit I haven't completed that yet. And next, 5C is accessibilities.
Okay.
What's going on with that? Intro lists, Facebook page, all of that. What's happening with that?
Okay. I had an episode taped on January 7th, and it just Monday posted on WCTV. I don't know what it got held up. There's a new person that's taking care of that stuff now, and it was just really slow in getting out. Usually it's about a week to get out. But anyway, my guest was Lou Maglia from Veteran Services. It was a really awesome episode because I made the theme asking for help. So we talked about asking for help, and then when we talked about the Veteran Services, we talked about how people can ask for help, and we talked about PTSD, we talked about suicide, and things like that, and how it's easily preventable. So it was a really good episode. So right now, that's getting closed captioned. That'll probably take another week, and then after that, it will be up on YouTube. So it's been kind of slow. We also had a snow day cancellation in December, so we missed an episode there. That was Jeff Hull, and so I didn't actually sit down with him. Jeff, I'm meeting with Jeff is going to have an episode in February. After we had to cancel with the snow, he was tied up with budget things. I had a cancellation for my guest tomorrow, and I was thinking about telling my story of disability, but I chickened out. It's just difficult. I don't want to just be talking for 30 minutes by myself. It's a difficult thing to do. It's been difficult trying to get guests. I have 4 guests in the pipeline, but all of them want to wait until after they've had the vaccination before coming to the set, even though there's only like 5 people in the studio altogether. So that's the problem I'm running up against. So it's kind of hard trying to get new people. So one of the, so I asked all of you if you had any ideas for people or for reaching out to organizations or anything else like that. I keep asking you guys. I've been doing this since last January, and I've had no response from any of you except for Robert, who's helped deliver some of the flyers. It I do a lot of work on this. It takes a lot of time. It's hard. Um, but one thing that I want to do is I started a mailing list. I have the independent living centers across Massachusetts, and I have their emails. So I wrote a new flyer with all of our contact, all the different ways you can view it, and wrote on there that we're looking for guests. But so I'm going to email a batch of our flyers to announce our show. And then I want to do a mailing for this show. I have the addresses for all the commissions in Massachusetts. I don't have the email addresses, which means they have to go out in envelopes. I can get this, the envelopes stamped through the town in a mass mailing, but I think that envelopes are going to have to be handwritten, unless anybody knows how we can get labels. There's 173 commissions. And then I have another list of organizations, types of organizations that I also want to send this to. So if somebody could help me, volunteer to help me get those out, I could really use the help.
So, Dee, this is Jonathan. In that, on that USB that we received for the community access monitor training, there is a municipal commission on disability listing.
Right, that's the 173 commission.
I mean, at the risk of sounding like it's an arts and crafts project, rather than just write it all out, I mean, you could really just print these out, cut them out, and just stick them on an envelope, even if it's just taping them. It's 15 pages, and it looks like there's about 12 or 13 of these on each page. That might be the easier way to go.
Okay, so that's something that I physically can't do because I can't see to cut and paste things like that. So
yeah, man, I can do this.
Oh, if you could, that would be great.
So, I mean, tell me more about what we're mailing out. Is it just a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper?
I made a flyer and I sent it to all of you guys. And it tells what the show is about, and then it tells the different ways that they can view us. It's a one-page flyer, has information about me on there, but I also want to write a letter to them, announcing to the commissions that this is what we're doing, and and we're actively looking for guests and things like that. And I want to ask them all to help us get the word out to people that the show is there.
All right. So if you want to write that letter, and if you could just resend that flyer, just so because I'm sure it's buried somewhere in my inbox.
Okay, and I can ask Beverly if she can give me a box of envelopes. I think she'll do that.
Yep, she would.
Okay, thanks, Jonathan. That would be very helpful.
This is Carol. If I could, I maybe hate to admit this, but I have lots of experience with mailing lists, but I can print it, and there's label paper, so it's peel and stick instead of having to cut it out and tape it. That's fairly easy.
Sorry, Carol. So this is Jonathan. I have Usually I'm able to figure out how to do a mail merge once a year when I'm doing Christmas cards. I'm not, so the PDF that we have, actually, I might be able to convert this for that. So I can certainly try and figure that out. So one way or the other, I'll get it done.
Okay, I'll find out about the envelopes for you, Jonathan. Thanks, and I'll write the letter and I'll email you the.
I can work on the envelopes. I'm in contact with Bev pretty regularly, so.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if you can get a letter together and just resend that with a flyer.
Oh, thanks. That'll be very helpfful. Okay, and then the next thing, I started the Facebook page. Brad McKenna helped me, and he piggybacked it on my personal Facebook page, which I don't use because it's a visual thing I can't see. So anyway, I thought, the episodes will be on there, and that people wanting to access the site will be people who want to get in touch with Accessibilities. I got over 2,000 friend requests, and it was almost entirely men. And I got all these instant messages, and it was all attached to my Daddy account. And I had all these people hitting on me, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to chat with anybody. I don't even want to chat with anybody for Accessibilities. I want them to comment. I just wanted to start a dialogue. So and I don't know what to. At first I just started accepting all these friend requests because
Don't
I've
do
been.
that, T. Don't do that, T.
What?
Don't do that.
I thought the more the merrier, right? And it turns out they had no interest in the show. They wanted to know what I was doing. So I don't know if what I was gonna do is just delete everything that's in there and then just individually send it out to like all my people that I've been sending I have a list of like 100 people that I've been sending things out to. But I don't know. Do you think Facebook could work? Should I keep at it, but just be, it's just hard because I have to listen to my screen reader reading all this stuff. It's very time consuming.
Hi, this is John. It doesn't sound like Facebook's working for this.
Yeah.
All right, I just don't know how to get a conversation going. We keep getting emails, like Brad got some emails, and I get people emailing me to my personal email account all the time, and I say to them, please write this on Facebook or write it on YouTube. And they're like, yeah, but they never do. They tell me this wonderful story of how watching an episode helps somebody. With Brad, Brad McKenna is the technology librarian, and he has a profound deafness and with hearing aids so he can hear. And so we did episode 4 together. And this woman wrote in, she saw Brad's tape. And one of the things I asked Brad was if he had tips for other people with hearing losses. And so he gave some tips on things that he does. And he talked about what it was like when he was in school. He was shy. He didn't want to keep asking the teacher questions. So he just hoped that other people would ask the question that he had. And so anyway, this lady said she had a 9-year-old daughter and she needed those tips and she didn't want to use them. But she sat down and watched it with her. And when she saw that Brad did the same thing, she decided that, yeah, she can do that now. And that's the type of stuff that I want to get on a discussion board. So does anybody have any suggestions on what I can do?
this is Carol. I know that Facebook can work. I'm a moderator for my work's Facebook account. And yes, it is connected to my personal account, but the messaging the email is separate. I was thinking how to set it up. I think how you set it up is important. That was something, my personal Facebook and my work account are separate in that way. The emails go to a different email. So if they reach out, they don't have an option to directly reach out to me. It goes to a separate email. So maybe we could do something in the settings for you. And then I found that Facebook was great for watching the videos. It was awesome to be able to see them. It was better for me than YouTube. It seemed easier. It was there. It let me know when it was available. It pops up. So for me, that was great to have it on Facebook.
Okay, well, if you can give me tips on what to do, I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how that was set up. I'll look into our setup for our work account and figure out if we could set something up for you.
I had people from all over the world. I had a king and I had 2 princes from like Trinidad and all these other countries all over the world.
Did you have any queens?
I didn't get a queen that I know of.
All right. I am looking at the time. So I'm just checking in with the interpreter because we've been going. We have a little bit of time. We're okay. Dee, do you have any more on that topic?
No, just, and if anybody has any suggestions for guests or departments or organizations, I mean, I keep contacting people, but if anybody has any suggestions, please let me know.
Brooke?
This is Brooke speaking. Just, Dee, do you still have the time slot for tomorrow? And if so, at like what point would you need to absolutely know by? I'm sending out a few texts, just kind of thought of some last minute options.
I cancel tomorrow, but I could make I could make another appointment before. It would be nice to do one before my February one.
Okay. I will ask a few people that for some reason it didn't strike me to ask until just now. I don't know why. Sorry.
Oh, that would be great. And you know what, Brooke, I was going to ask you if you had the information. You told me about a person who did a training with service dogs to teach EMTs about service dogs going in ambulances.
So I've lost everything. I've lost her contact information. I've been looking around the station to see if I have one of her flyers still. I can't even remember what group she worked, like if she worked with a specific company. I only remember her name and her dog's name. Actually, I remember the dog's name. That's probably easier than the person. But I know her name was Lynn Emerson. Maybe I'll see if I can find her on Facebook. But I am still digging around for that she did that training probably a good 4 or 5 years ago now. So those handouts are long gone.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
still
because
looking.
I thought I'd try to do one on service dogs, and I can have Marquis do some things, but I thought I'd have somebody else with a service dog too that can talk about them. And then I've got, for other guests, I have a person who is legally blind, who is an artist, and he's quite a great artist. And he also teaches animation and some other type of art at Lesley University. So, you know, and it doesn't just have to be people with disabilities. It can be, you know, anybody else who's helping people in any way, helping people with disabilities.
This is
So
Carol.
if, this is Robert, if that doesn't work out, I mean, I didn't even think of that. So I do have service dog trainers that I have access to if you are interested in having them at some point, if that person doesn't work out.
That would be great, because I'm trying to find out somebody from Needs, but they're in Princeton, and I seriously doubt anybody's going to come up from Princeton to do a show.
Yes.
But
Yep.
that
I have
would
a
be,
few from the VA, and then I also have a civilian one that I put Tasha through. So I think between me and Brooke, but again, Brooke, whoever you have, if that works out, great. If not, just please let me know.
okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And this is Carol. D, I am willing, but a little bit later. And then I was also thinking about towns that has a large company that focuses on research. And I'm sure there are people with disabilities that are hopefully doing fabulous work in their fields.
What was that?
So maybe we could spotlight some of those kind of hidden people that are doing their jobs and have been quietly for a long time. And then I was also thinking about maybe, this is just another idea, seems to be that part of the problem is that people don't want to go into the studio until there's a vaccine. Okay, that's understandable, but what if you look specifically for people who have already gotten the vaccine?
Well, the biggest problem is identifying people who want to come on and be a guest. That's the big thing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, people who are willing to share their story.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I'd write to the commissions and the independent living centers. I do have somebody from the Northeast Independent Living Program who wants to come on, but after he gets vaccinated.
Right.
But I figure if I have somebody from an independent living center or a commission, they're going to tell all their friends to watch the episode, and that way we can, you know, and reach out to the people that they know that they work with to increase the viewership. And I want more than just people with disabilities. I'm hoping, you know, everyday people are watching, it's the general population, because I make sure I gear it towards them too, so that they're learning something new about people with disabilities.
Yeah. All right, any more comments or discussion on that topic? Please get your ideas hopefully submitted to Dee. A reminder to everyone. All right, moving on to the web page. I think there's been no action. I don't have anything to say about that tonight.
Can we add accessibilities, the show to the website and the ways that it can be viewed? And I'll send you my flyer so you'll know what to write.
And Carol, this is Carol. Now I actually have something popped into my head after that. There was a woman, Cheryl, that resigned from the commission. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I still saw the names of the commissioners were updated, but her name was still there.
Oh, no, that should be removed.
Yeah, so I was just double checking that she actually had. Brooke?
Yes, I've been communicating with John O'Neill, and he is going to remove her name from the website.
This is Jonathan. It looks like John actually did. So I'm just looking at it right now too. So actually, I'll very quickly.
I checked just this afternoon, and her name was still there.
All right, can you guys see this? It looks like John got in later this afternoon.
I wouldn't say I emailed him a long time ago. It may have been a day or two, but yeah.
Good job, Brooke. You got it done.
Got it before the meeting. That's all I can ask.
Check it off the list.
Right.
Well, that was easy. And now we need to add accessibilities. Brooke, did you have something else?
No, I was, hold on, let me just write this down before I forget. Disabilities. So I did, like I said, I did have an email conversation with John regarding doing some updates. I had tried to muck around in there myself and then found it's just easier to ask him to do it. I was going to, I've sent out a few informal requests to like the CPAC, say. Sorry, the Special Education Parent Advisory Council through the school district here, to say, hey, I'm looking to add your information to our website as a resource, but their web link doesn't work. So when they get that fixed, we can add that just as a resource. But again, I didn't want to throw it out there with a broken link either.
Brooke, I can reach out to Dr. Bryce and you're just looking for a link to some of the resources?
No, yeah, so I was just going to link to the group itself. I know they're looking for members as well. And I had ended up getting a response from someone who works closely with them. I think when the school changed their website or their tech stuff, I'm not going to say the website because I'm not really sure. But when the school district changed something, that website wasn't updated, that link. So she's going to look into it and hopefully get it fixed and get me the information. But they are looking for members, and thought maybe that would be, a resource for parents to have kids that need a little extra help somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, great. Any more? Page? No. And our last item on the agenda is the meeting minutes. And submit possible changes to the meeting minutes process to see if there's possibly any barriers. Right now, the meeting minutes are distributed, are written during the meeting for comments, review, revision. I would suggest that the meeting minutes are disseminated ahead so we can independently read and review and then bring to the meeting any corrections for discussion. As opposed to reading it and critiquing during the meeting, just to save a bit of time during our meeting. Could that cause any potential barriers to the group? Does anybody not want that to happen when I'm opening it up to discussion?
Yeah, it'd be a good idea if we could have it like a week in advance. And that's a great idea. Then we can, if we have any changes, we can talk about it at the meeting. How's that sound, Brooke?
I like it. Less reading for me.
Robert?
Okay.
Good.
Motion to accept the requested change to the meeting minutes.
Actually, we need a motion. So, all right, I make a motion that we receive the minutes 1 week before our meeting time, scheduled meeting time.
Okay. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it passes, yay. And the one final detail on our next meeting for March 24th is a Wednesday evening, 6:30. But we all have our homework before that. Should we just stare at each other for a while?
I guess.
Brooke?
We're looking for the magic motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
So
Do we have a motion? Oh, it was
That
second.
was
I think it was first and seconded, yeah. Brooke and Jonathan, Selectman Eaton.
Just call me John.
Oh, you're Select?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, fine. Well, looks like we're going to stay all night and chat. It was a very good meeting. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks. See you soon.
Night.
Good night.